Hello, Jobfather Nation. Welcome to this week's Jobfather
Oh
with
yeah.
yours truly, Foster, and myself. We have Mez in the background, and we are
Welcome
just so
home.
excited. Foster will be introducing our guest today here in a moment. But first of all, we are really grateful to be a part of NTX Radio, which is a radio and podcast collective. This NTX Radio proudly serves all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world
Hmm.
on TuneIn Radio and on the NTX Radio app. Now, you can listen a lot of different ways. You can listen via Android, Apple CarPlay. You can go on YouTube. You can also ask Alexa or any devices for that matter to play NTX Radio, or Joco Community Radio was the previous name. And we are just grateful to be here. We're grateful to Tiffany. You want to check out the lineup and more at ntxradio.com. And we thank our valued partners for helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Now, with that said, let's bow our heads for a quick word of prayer before we get started with announcements and introductions. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the privilege to be here yet another week to serve the job seeker and job transitioner community. Lord God, I just pray you would open up the most amazing doors of opportunity for all of those that are in job transition. And I pray that they would build fruit of the Spirit along the way, and that we would remain a community that is always open to helping one another and giving back. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Foster. Well, I'm going to turn
Hey.
it over to you because I'm sure you have some announcements, maybe a little on the game plan for the show today. I have some announcements. So, yeah, let's go.
Oh, cool. Let's get to him, and then I'll give you all my lame dad joke.
I love
So
it.
we we'll hear from him later. But we've got Triple J with us today. We got JJ Jordan. All right.
Woohoo! JJ.
How are you guys doing?
All right.
Good.
JJ's a technical sales engineer. He'll be telling us more about that in about 30 minutes. But in the meantime, Dana and I got you guys, and we want to do part two, part three, it might be even part three. We want you guys to know what we recruiters have to go through, so you know how to deal with us and what to expect from us.
Mhm.
So
And some
uh,
good tips along the way for job
and
search.
some good tips, absolutely. So I want, if I can find my dad joke, I want to tell you guys a dad joke before we get started. How about that? You all right with that? You got your thinking ears on,
Got our
Dana?
thinking ears on.
All right. So check this out, y'all. I worked in an orange juice factory till I got canned.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
they they put the squeeze on me, and it said I couldn't concentrate.
Oh, that's actually cute. That's a cute one,
Oh
Foster.
my God. So there y'all. I always try to make you guys laugh. And we've got Mez today. Thank you, Mez, for
We
being
love
there with us.
Mez.
And Mez is behind the scenes. So we thank you, Mez. And you know what? Hey, Dana,
Mhm.
do you have any particular hot jobs at Beacon Oral Specialist that you'd like to let us know about?
Absolutely. We are hiring. We have a need for two contract credentialing specialists. These
Oh,
individuals will be performing all the credentialing for our oral surgeons, any contracting dentists nationwide. Great group, and we also have in the RCM revenue cycle management side, um, same department. We have a payment poster and an insurance AR specialist here in Dallas, full-time roles, and that would be all healthcare based, accounts receivable and healthcare revenue cycle based payment posting. They're on our website at Beacon Oral Specialists, that's with an S at the end.com. And we have a director of compliance. This individual would be helping to continue to grow, manage, and align our nationwide compliance program to impact all of our oral surgery locations throughout the United States. We have a financial analyst role. All of these are full time at our corporate headquarters here in Dallas. And we are looking for a very experienced, or even someone that could be a little bit newer in their career, but they must have HRIS analyst experience. We would prefer Paycor. But if you've worked with a lot of different HRIS platforms before, I'm hiring, and my leader, we're hiring for the HR team, a individual that can help us manage our HR information system and help with projects as it relates throughout HR and the HR system. So we are hiring full-time for that. We're just getting started on that search. It's super critical. And this is a full-time role, work in the office 3 days a week, home for 2. So those are the roles. We are hiring and growing as an organization. Yep, my email address will be listed up there. And Mez also, because she's a rock star, she put the beaconoralspecialist.com. She is amazing. And then she also put in my LinkedIn account.
Absolutely.
So yep. And there is a I in Beacon Oral Specialist at the end, but that's okay. I'm sure y'all get the gist of it. And we are hiring. So you can go to Mez is amazing. You can go to our website, check out these jobs, check out the job descriptions. And if anything looks good, feel free to reach out to me via email. That would be great. And it's just D Gingrich with at beaconoralspecialist.com.
Wow, you got a long one. So,
Yep.
you know what? I think you guys ought to connect with Dana. Dana is an awesome resource for job search. She likes to help folks. She gives good
Yes.
advice, all that kind of stuff, especially on resumes and stuff. You got questions on your resume, call Dana and
Happy.
ask her. And if she
Mhm.
doesn't know the answer, she'll call me,
Yep.
and we'll certainly be lost. But
And I do you're funny. And I do kind of like my side hustle is Resume Key, and I give very affordable, reasonable deals to people in the job search that need help aligning their resume, LinkedIn, and a cover letter to make sure everything's in alignment and you're setting yourself up for the best possible case scenario. And the best thing to do is to text me at 214-418-7935 to set up a time to connect. And again, it's something I do to give back, in a relatively affordable way, because your resume, your cover letter, and we'll talk about this more this half of the show, and your LinkedIn do impact your job search. Right, Foster?
Oh, that's right. Give us that number again, Dana. Say it.
Yes, 214-418-7935. And I always recommend texting first, because unfortunately in today's society, even with spam bots, we get so inundated with numbers we don't know that are usually like, your car insurance is due, or just, your car, whatever, warranty. That's what I'm trying to say. I get all kinds of junk on warranties and this and that. And so if I don't recognize the number, I know if they know me, they'll text. And that way, just, hey, heard you do this. Watch the Jobfather, give me a call. And I immediately can text back, great, when's good for you to talk, and it doesn't get missed. So
Doesn't get missed.
Yeah,
And we
because a lot of
want to
times
thank you said it a while ago. We want to thank Tiffany Hurd
she's
for allowing
amazing.
us to be here. Some of you guys might want to have your own radio show. Maybe you're on to something. Maybe you want to have a podcast /
Yep.
radio show like Dana and I have here. And Tiffany is going to be the person that you guys will be, and I'll put you in contact with her. So you guys can contact me or Dana, and we'll hook you up with Tiffany. Tiffany's cool.
Tiffany's
So okay,
awesome.
so let's talk about our world a little bit, Dana. So I'm constantly answering questions that job seekers have of things like, "Hey, when's a good time? When I apply for a job, when should I contact the recruiter? What's a good time without being too much of a pain in the you know what? Uh, when should I contact the recruiter? Dana, what is comfortable for you? A timeline that's comfortable for you.
Yeah, no, that's such a good question, because keep in mind, most recruiters aren't just disrespectfully not calling you back. That's not the case at all.
Yeah, that's true.
The team, they may have, I don't know, 20 to 30 recs at any given time with 3 to 5 to 15 to 20 candidates at any given time per rec. And you think
Yeah.
about all the communications with the leaders and setting up interviews and responding and screening candidates. It's a lot. It really is. And that's in addition to everything else. So I always say, if you want to email once a week, or I would prefer email once a week and a follow-up, which, for example, I have a phenomenal candidate that's interviewing for as we're getting started on the director of compliance role, and he checks in once a week. And I really, really appreciate that because it stays in touch with me, keeps him fresh on my mind, but he's not hounding me to where it puts additional stress and frustrates me. And I'm like, whoa, too much. Are you going to be this aggressive if we were to hire you? So you want to balance that consistency without being aggressive or coming across as a very pushy person, because that can be a red flag. Once a week is perfect. And when you initially speak with someone, before you get off the phone, confirm what the next steps are and about how long before they can expect to hear something. That's a good question to ask. That way you kind of have an idea. Before I reach out again, they're telling me this person might be on vacation for the next 3 days, so it'll probably be a week. So I'm not going to keep hounding them every other day because the person probably hasn't even got back to them yet. They're not back from vacation. So it's good to ask questions and then check in about once a week.
Now, one thing you guys want to remember, there is a difference between those of you that have interviewed with a job, you feel like your interview went well, you feel like that's different than just sending your resume. And if you're just sending your resume, and I mean, you may not want to bug us too much if you haven't heard back from us, you sent your resume in. But here's what is very important. JJ and I talked about this the other day. When you guys find an opportunity that you are good, let me get close to the screen, that you are a good fit for, right? Okay. Guys, when we don't have a job, we're panicking, a lot of us, and we think we can do all these jobs.
Which is normal.
Remember that the recruiter is not going to contact you if you're not a good fit for that job. A lot of us think like we're a good fit for the job, and we ain't no good fit for that job. And so there's a difference there, you guys. And you want to offer to help. Say, Dana, I know you're looking for this. We're talking about this opportunity. Do you have a real priority opportunity that you're working on? Because I'm part of a huge network, and I'd be more than glad to try to help send the right people your way. You know what? You will be on Dana's radar. There's a lot of ways that we're able to build those, what is it, Dana? Relationships along the way.
Yep.
Because people like Dana will remember you even if you go beyond her company. She may say, hey, I met this JJ guy and he's awesome. And I know a friend of mine, we recruiters, we build relationship with other recruiters. Come on now. I even help build Texas Recruiter Network. We got loads of recruiters in there. Every first Wednesday we meet of every month. And you might remember, and Dana might remember JJ and say, wait a minute, let me tell JJ about this opportunity. Or wait a minute, let me send JJ's information because he was on the radio show and to this recruiter, to this friend of mine, or you may have even seen a job. Pam Calhoun, I'm thinking about you. I don't know if you're out there listening or not, but Pam and I have known each other forever. She's a recruiter and she is in the job search. So remember, Pam Calhoun, you guys go check out on LinkedIn. Anyway, that's what I like to do is the Jobfather.
Absolutely. This is why you are so good at what you do, Foster, and you network people together. But, Foster, you bring up a really good point, if I may interject, that,
go ahead.
There's a balance, but there's a balance. It is important to take initiative, communicate, reach out, but balance that without being overly aggressive. And please know that it is natural when you're going through the job search, and especially if you're in a position where maybe you don't have someone else to cover all the bills and you're like, oh my gosh, that's how I was as a single woman. I talked to Foster about it too. When I was going through this, I was like, okay, I have enough to get me through a couple months, but after that, like, what could happen? And, it's a lot, but keep in mind, it is so important to, how do I word this, Foster? It is natural to want to apply to a lot of things. I even found
That's
myself
natural. Yeah.
being on the show, giving advice to people, getting overly excited in interviews and over talking at times. And it's okay to have nerves. It's okay to, be a little nervous. But the biggest advice that I can give anyone and what I experienced for myself is when you get to a point of an interview, just remember, God's going to open up the right door. You have nothing to lose, nothing to worry about. And it's best to stay calm and grounded, listen to what they're asking. And my leader, Laura, who's been on the show, and she actually talked about this topic on the show,
Hey,
use
Laura.
executive speak. Yeah. Hi, Laura. Use executive speak. What does that mean? It means what you have to say is truly answering the question or questions or contributing value, not over expanding, not going above and beyond what they're asking, maybe just a tad, but bringing what you have to say, brings value. If you're just talking to talk, putting a lot of extra fluff, over explaining, going on and on about something that they did not directly ask about, it's tempting. Don't do it. I can't tell you how many times I've got on the phone and could tell someone was qualified, but they were overly excited and they went on and on.
Yeah, you can run them away.
And I
Yeah.
couldn't get my questions in. And so that almost automatically disqualifies them, even though they are qualified, because I think about now, if I put them on with the hiring leader, the hiring leader is going to be like, Dana, what were you thinking? I couldn't get a word in edgewise. And maybe that's not how that person is in real time, right? So again, calm, positive, good eye contact, be yourself. It's okay to have a little bit of your personality.
Absolutely.
And stick to the conversation. When they ask you something, think through what they're asking, answer it with value, expand a teeny bit, not
Keep
over
that
the top.
relevance there, guys. Yep.
Yep, a little bit, and stop. Let them process it. Let them write it down. Let them ask you more questions. It's hard because there is a certain part of us that are like, oh my gosh, we want to get back to work for many different reasons. But we have to be cool, calm, and collective like a date. You don't want to show desperation. And I will admit, there were times the longer it went on that I found myself they'd ask a question and I'd go ahead and just rattle off all the things that made me qualified.
I got a question for you. You know, sometimes you get through all the stuff in the interview and then
Yep.
you ask the candidate, hey, do you have any questions? Number one, I like to have my questions during the conversation that we're having in the interview.
Most of the time I do too. Yeah.
But what do you feel like? What does it make you feel like when you get to the end and there are no questions? There's no it's like it almost shuts the candidate off when you ask them if they have questions. What does that make you feel like?
It's kind of funny you asked that. So, okay, if I might be honest, if I've had a really good conversation with the candidate and we've talked about a lot of things, my hope is that they don't have a lot of questions, because typically I'm in a freaking hurry and I need to go. So
we're always in a hurry.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's like back to back to back, and then I have 15 different people's, half of them executives needing stuff while I'm in the middle of other stuff that's due. So here's what I'm going to say. Again, executive speak. If what you're saying and asking isn't valuable and it's fluff, please don't do it. So I think they should always have a question or two to wrap up with, so you don't look like you don't care or don't have questions. But try to allow them to ask you questions so that you can engage. And then that in turn will naturally give you questions to ask throughout the conversation. So at the very end, if you do have something, it's only a few, not a lot. It is nothing more annoying than we go through the whole thing and then they want to ask the most mundane questions at the end just because they're supposed to ask questions.
Not even about the job. Oh
well, God. Just like, what is the culture like? Or, which is a great question, but do it while we're talking. Like, we'll get right to the very end and they'll ask, you can tell they're just a few very vague questions they jotted down so that they don't look bad for not asking questions. If I'm going to interview for talent acquisition roles, at some point in the conversation, I'm going to ask about what is the philosophy of the culture? What is the culture? And I'm going to ask some other things, but I'm going to have a couple questions. I'm going to want to know, like, what kind of ATS are they using? What kind of
Relevant
metrics are
questions,
they
you
following?
guys,
And if we don't get
not
that
fluff.
if we don't get that during the middle of the conversation, I'll ask it at the end. But let's say we had a really good conversation. I still have 8 or 9 questions left. I'm not going to ask all 8 or 9. I'm going to respect their time. I'm going to pick like maybe my top 1 or 2. Always have a question or 2, but don't just ask to ask. It's very obvious. And also be very sensitive to the person's time. You might even say, if you've gone over the time, you might say, listen, I do have some questions. I know we've kind of gone over. I
5
would be
minutes left. I want to tell you guys something. Sorry to cut you off, Dana, but I do the same thing sometimes. I go on and on. But you know what? Y'all don't do this. Please leave your phones in your purses. Don't answer
Oh,
your
yeah.
phone in the middle of an interview.
Please don't. Oh.
And and to be honest, you might want to use your phone for taking notes or something like that. I
Mhm.
understand that. But y'all don't answer the phone.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Don't even turn that ringer off. Don't no,
Mhm.
no,
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
You would be surprised what some of you guys do in the middle of an interview.
It's true. I've had people just straight up, whether they were qualified or not, they came in and had their phone on the table, took a call,
Yep.
and they were like, or let it ring in the middle of an interview. And it's like, if you can't take 2 seconds to turn your phone off or leave it in the car, I've literally had leaders go, I don't care, not interested. And if you like know that it's a professional type of job and you show up in just jeans or whatever, I've had people pass just like they couldn't even take the time to show up even in business casual now, you
Uh,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana, look at that
Mhm.
question that Sharon Adams asked.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sharon, I see you're with us. She says one of my favorite questions is, why do you work here? Why did you come to work here, and how long? And why do you stay here? Those are really, really good questions
Yeah.
for
Like,
an interviewer, for a hiring manager.
yeah. What do you like most about the company you work
Yes.
for, and what has contributed most to your tenure there? If they're tenured, look them up on LinkedIn first.
Yeah, y'all make sure you know who you're talking to now.
Yeah. Hey, you've been there 6 months. What are your thoughts so far? What do you like most about it? And what are your, what motivates you to continue to pursue your career there? Yeah.
Yeah, and listen very closely to what they say, guys. That stuff is important. This is 2026. Is it 20? Yeah, I think it's a six
Yes,
now,
sir.
2026.
I
So
know. Can you believe it?
every
That's how
time,
busy this year's
every
been.
time I turn on TV, something crazy is going on. Or we
Oh,
hear
I know.
something. We hear that some company's been bought up. We hear some kind of
Yep.
operational thing that's going on in a corporation or something like that, guys. It's very important that we know what we're getting ourselves into. Now, when you apply for a job, don't just apply and sit down and wait for them to call you. See if you know someone, if you have a
Mhm.
relationship with someone inside that company that can tell you a little bit or maybe help you from the inside.
Mhm.
Call Foster, call Dana. You might look and see common connections, and a common
Yes.
connection with that person might be
Yes.
Foster. And it usually is, because I built a network. So
Mm,
ask me, Foster, uh, what is your relationship with this person? I see you're connected
thank
with
you.
JJJ, 3 J's. JJ Jordan is working at that company.
Jay.
JJ. So, how well do you know JJ? Tell me something, because should I call JJ, ask him about the company? JJ might be the hiring manager. He might be in the same department that you're applying. So JJ might be a good person for you to talk to about that thing. Foster, what do you think about it? You got a relationship with JJ. What do you think? Now, I do not, and I say it all the time, I do not play connect the dots on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm connected to a lot of people that I don't have a relationship with. And I am very, very reluctant to connect you guys, especially if I haven't gotten to know you as a person, to connect you with someone else that I hadn't had any contact with. Let's
Yeah.
think about that. We are not here to use Dana and Foster
Mhm.
for that end. We
Mm-mm.
want to put guys. We want to put some some sense to what we're doing. We want to put some value in what we're offering, what we're doing, what we're asking
Yeah.
in that interview. I think Dana said a wonderful thing. Y'all don't get fluffy with these. 'Cause you can tell when a conversation's kind of going off the rails,
Hmm.
and we're there to talk about that opportunity. So your questions need to be, and your statements need to be in and around that opportunity. Find out what is going on in your experience and what they're looking for, what you've gone through before. Find out what some things that you might face if they hire you. If they hire you, you might want to know some things that you might want to face. So something to think about. I'm rambling on. I'm gonna let
No,
Dan
no,
talk.
it makes sense. And I can't talk enough about get on Chat GPT, get on Copilot, or even just Google executive speak, how to deliver questions and responses with value. And it's, I need, and it will help you tremendously in your
All right.
conversations.
It's time for us to go to commercial, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk to JJJ. I'm going to explain that to y'all when we get back. I'll have another dad joke.
Yay! See you in a second.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820. Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Oh man, Dana went away. She'll be back. Sometimes she has problems with her camera. So guys, welcome back. We are here. We're gonna meet somebody cool, and well, I'll call him JJJ. Now the triple J is JJ. His name is James Jordan, but we call him JJ. And JJJ is with us, and right after my second part of the show, dad joke, I'm going to tell you guys what JJ does, and we're going to be talking about. JJ going to break it down and tell us a little bit about a whole lot more in detail about what he does and what Foster knows. So check this out, guys. JJ has got a real cool motorcycle. And I decided I wanted one of those things. So I asked God for a motorcycle, and we know God doesn't operate like that. So, so what I did was, man, I stole one, and then I asked for forgiveness.
Oh, for goodness sakes. That's too cute.
I told y'all I'm a dad joke captain. Man, I am head of dad jokes. So, guys, let me tell you, that guy over there is a friend of mine. He's smiling, and he's going to tell us all about what he does. What he does is technical sales engineer. Well, sales engineering, it might be a technical situation, it may not be, but he's going to tell us a little bit about that. His name is James Jordan. We call him JJ Jordan. And you guys need to hire. You companies need to hire JJ. I JJ's got the Jobfather Golden Seal of Approval, and
Appreciate
Mez,
that, Foster.
yeah, Mez came up with that. It was awesome years ago. And I've known JJ. I endorse JJ strongly. So JJ, tell us about what you do as a sales engineer. What does it look like? I know you deal with technical stuff too, but
Mhm,
it
mhm.
goes beyond just technical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most companies have something to sell, right? So there's a salesperson that actually is more about the relationship, more about the negotiations, and then there's somebody that typically behind the scenes or more in depth in how the product or service works. Well, I'm the guy who does the product and service. I show you how it works. I basically put in the side by side work with that person or with that team to show them how it works to help them understand what the value is for our product that they can use. So it's really about merging what they need with what I'm offering or what with my company is offering. So I'm the technical side of the sales process.
Uh-huh.
So it's I'm once the account exec or salesperson comes in, they basically get the team together of the customer. I come in in that and show them how it works, and then we'll do maybe a trial, an install of some sort into their environment side by side, and then answer any questions, make sure that it makes sense for them to actually move forward. And once we say, "Yep, we provided all the value," now I give it hand it back over, kind of, loosely hand it back over to that salesperson to finalize, close the deal, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Companies think about how the value of what it is we're talking about. So Foster's a salesperson. He comes in there, he tells you, "Hey, I got this, I want to sell you." And we're the best. Every company is the best at what they do, you know. And
They
then
are.
if Dana or whoever presents someone that's going to tell you how we're going to get that done and work with you and get your input on what it is and how we're going to be able to get this thing done, that is going to strengthen your resolve to use that particular company that JJ's working for, what he's talking about. JJ going to show you how, okay, we say we're the best. This is how we're going to get it done. We're
Okay.
going to work with you guys and we're going to make it hopefully as seamless as possible. And you guys are going to understand why you're making a good decision with going with me and my company to get this thing done.
Amen to that.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things that I think that I'm a little bit different than many of the sales people, the sales engineers out there is I was a customer for most of
Uh-huh.
my career, so I know what it's like to sit in the seat and hear somebody selling to me. So I'm able to help and understand and empathize and basically present in a way to say, "Hey, I know where you're at. Let me explain it to you in your terms, not my terms." You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to do something for somebody, you got to find out what it is, how they want it done.
that's right.
What are you going to do it on? What platform are we working on? What do you guys expect to see? Maybe timelines
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff to
Yeah.
figure out the best solution. I like that word, Dana. The best,
Solution.
the best solution for what we're talking about doing. And that's where JJ comes in there. He gets
Yeah.
right in there with you guys and gets it done on your timeline,
That's right.
the way you want to have it done. You're the one spending your money, so we got to keep you happy.
That's right. It's
JJ,
interesting. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dana.
no, I was going to say, along with what we're talking about, I always like to ask our amazing guests this because this is your opportunity to really share what sets you apart. But so we're talking about, the core experience and some of the things that you really accelerate and have proven successful experience in. What do you think sets you apart in these types of roles from other people that maybe,
Oh,
could
yeah.
be applying to the same position? Because I really want to give you that platform. Some people don't like to brag, but it's not about that. It's obviously you're here for a reason, and you have the Jobfather golden stamp of approval. We are honored to have you on our show. We want to
Yeah,
advertise you
definitely.
to our job seekers. Share a little bit about that in addition to what you were just about to say, which I think probably aligns with that because, there's reasons why you're here and that you're set apart.
Sure. I had an interview question recently and they asked me what was my SE superpower. And
Oh,
yes,
okay.
and my SE superpower were two things. One was what I already shared was I was a customer
Yeah.
more recently than a salesperson. Okay. So I've been an SE for about just under 7 years. Before that, I was a systems engineer. So I've worked in IT for many years. My other superpower is listening. And you guys talk for, the first half of the show, you kind of back and forth, and I was just kind of listening, to what your guys are saying. So I can understand not only what you're saying, what the words are coming out of your mouth, but I can actually listen behind the scenes what you're actually trying to convey. And I like to equate it. My wife and I we do premarital coaching for our church,
Oh, I love
and
that.
Oh, awesome.
part of the conversations with couples is yes, they're talking, yes, they're saying things, but what they're saying is not really what they're trying to get across, or they're hearing something but they're not really understanding it. So you kind of show it in a different light, you kind of move it around, you give it a different slant. So that's one of those superpowers. Those are the couple of things that set me apart. That I've also had a lot of military experience, because I was in the military. So I bring that kind of structure into it and methodical thought process to say, okay, as as an example, as I'm installing, I'm explaining to you what I'm doing, because I can install it, but if you don't understand what I'm doing, it's irrelevant, right? So I install it, I
True.
explain it,
I love
because
that. You're
eventually,
building value.
right? Because eventually you're going to be doing it, and I'm not going to be there on the call. So I want to make sure you understand what I'm doing, and then it's layered, right? I tell you once, and then I tell you a second time, while you're clicking it, then you're asking me questions, and I tell you a third time, and you get it, right? Because it's never the first time.
Right.
So
Never the
it's
first
layered
time. Yeah.
approach. It's layered
Yeah.
approach, and those are really three things that I think set me apart from many. I won't say all. I mean, there's a lot of great SEs out there. I've worked with a bunch of them, so but I think that's the value, some of the value that I bring.
Honestly, that was that was the perfect example of an answer. And I mean this genuinely,
Yeah,
Foster.
Mayor's
I
like
don't
that.
say
Mayor's
this that
smart.
often, but that was the perfect example of what I was trying to convey earlier. JJ delivered, he answered the question, expanded just a tad, not too much. And everything that he discussed was truly value. It was truly relatable. That was amazing. I mean, I wasn't testing. I wanted to give you the floor to brag without having to force a bragging session. But I know it wasn't about bragging. You were humble in the way you answered the question too. So, I mean, anybody would be blessed to hire you. And I think that's amazing what you're doing in your personal time. On a side note, with the church, I think communication is probably one of the toughest, most complex
Boy,
things
we
that
need
human
more of
beings
that.
face, right?
Yeah.
Huge.
That's the one thing we need in this world. My goodness.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So JJ, tell me this.
Mhm.
What arenas now? Of course, you cover a lot of ground.
Mhm, mhm.
Now, what I won't say what's best with you, but what do you like? What gets you excited? What gets that smile in your face? Arenas. I'm looking for a word. I can't think of the word that I'm thinking about. Uh, Arenas in which you work, the type of companies, what they serve, the industries,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
It's really interesting. The challenge. So I'm with the South Lake Focus Group, and they
Mhm.
keep and the question comes back that says, what company do you want a contact in? And I'm challenged with that question because there's so many great companies out there that and in great industries, right? So I was in IT, so that means I've done storage, I've done networking, I've done cyber, I've done infrastructure, all of those,
Uh huh.
and that's all great. And I could work in all of those and I would do well. But I've also in this process of I've done interviews with asset tracking, right? I've done interviews with fleet
Okay.
management, and they all have great value as well, right? So it's just different arenas. I think it's I am not I've always been a jack of all trades. I've always been somebody who can adapt to situations.
Mm.
So
Uh-huh.
I can really I feel if the sales proposition is something of value, I can get behind it. When I first came to sales 7 years ago, about 3 years in, I was like, "What is my next sales job if this ended, when this ends?" Right? Because I understand the job market is never permanent, right? Not today. So,
Right.
what could I get behind? And I had a hard time answering that, but in this job search process, I realized that there's a lot of companies that I could get behind, whether it's in technology, in IT or not. So it's a really interesting question. So I don't really have an answer. I
Well,
like a lot of different areas.
yeah, some people, and one reason I ask that question is some people are good at what they do, and then some people have a real. It's them. What they do is them. Like me. An example is
Mhm.
Foster. Oh my
Mhm.
God! Anybody was made for recruiting, for
Mhm, mhm,
networking. That's me. I've,
right.
I've been out there for a while now, and then they call me the Job Father. How in the world did that happen? Oh my God!
Mhm.
And I like that, and
Worth the suit.
that is me. So that's one thing I like to ask. One reason I asked JJ that question because he's so good at so many things. You know what? Earlier today, I was talking to him about hot water heaters. My hot water heater went bad, and oh my God, I had water all over the place. And so, and
Oh, no.
JJ's been through that. He's been there, done that. He had wonderful, he even answered a couple of the questions that I did good in figuring out. I won't get into it with you, but what can you expect when you get a brand new water heater, Foster, and those kind of things. And so I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And sometimes people are, I don't know how to technically break that down, but some people are what they do, and I
Mhm.
am what I do.
Yeah, yeah. I think sales is something that I learned years ago, that everybody's in sales, whether you like it or not, right?
Oh yeah,
Everybody's in sales. When you're dating somebody, you're selling yourself.
that's
You know,
right.
when you're
Sure.
when you're looking for your first job, when you're looking for anything, right? You're selling yourself, and that's the something that I learned a long, long time ago. So why I didn't get in sales a long time ago is beyond me. I guess I was comfortable in IT because I was good at it. When I got into sales, when I my last company, when I got in sales, one of the VP of sales, right? So the guy overall of sales in the US, he said, after having our conversations, he said, "Why are you not already in sales?" That was the question he asked
Mm.
me.
Oh.
And I said, "I have
It's a good
no
question.
idea, but here I am." So this is kind of where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah. I need to hire you because I haven't been dating in quite some time, and it's time for me to start dating again. So we need to break this thing. We need to engineer this dating thing. So We're gonna
There
be
you go.
talking about that, JJ.
I do too, Foster. I think we can help each other get
Yeah,
like
me and
back in the
Dana are
dating
both.
thing.
But neither one of us
Man,
are
I've like
dating.
stepped out of that realm for a
We're
while because I'm like, oh, I want to date the right way and a Christian way, and I'm
right,
trying to figure that out.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
See
right.
now, see what I just did? Personal stuff.
That's
Me
right.
and Dana are
That's right.
both single, and we're ready to mingle. How about that?
That's right.
Woo!
That's
And
right.
speaking of,
Mm.
I want to help Dana. Dana has acquired a new little cute little kitty cat, and she's looking for a home for that kitty cat. We're not selling the cat, but Dana, tell us a little bit about that kitty cat. You given that kitty cat a name, I think, haven't you?
Not quite. I want to, but somebody just left this little babe, little sweet angel, and it's by its carrier out, behind some trees near where I live. And so, just the best little boy. He's probably 11 months, super cuddly, super sweet. Obviously was an indoor cat, has not been getting on counters, does not scratch
Oh, really?
furniture, does not spray, used the litter box
Wow.
immediately, curled up in my arms and cuddled me and purred.
It's a boy cat, and
Yeah,
it's
and
not
he does not
spraying.
spray. No, he's so
Hey, now
good. He
that's a good.
immediately used the litter box.
JJ can help you
And I want
engineer
to
that.
keep him. I do, but I can't because my apartment will only let me have 2 animals. He looks just like my Charlie Ray. They look like they came from the same litter, but could be the Sinatra that I thought I was gonna adopt, but he's amazing. And I can't have 3 animals in my apartment. So I just need to find a home for him. And he is so perfect, and he got along immediately with my cat and dog.
You
Chill.
know, maybe you ought to name him Sinatra. I like that.
I know, right? I like that. I was gonna adopt a cat named Sinatra, but God opened the door for me to get Charlie instead. She was the same litter, and Sinatra was her twin. It's so funny. I mean, there was a bunch of them in there, but she and Sinatra looked identical.
Dana and
So
animals is much like my buddy Jane Ryan out there on the West Coast.
I had a
Oh
house.
my God,
He'd be called
animals
Sinatra,
come.
and he'd be here.
That's awesome. So, nonetheless, guys, JJ, what's the best way to contact you? Now we know your name is
Yeah.
James Jordan,
Mhm.
but even on his LinkedIn, he's got JJ Jordan.
That's right.
Guys,
I love it.
connect with you. I want you companies to go check him out. I want you guys to call JJ and talk to him because
Yep.
I know a number of you companies that are listening have a need for somebody to come in there and solidify that sale. A
Mhm.
lot of times salespeople are kind of we roll our eyes in our head. Everybody's trying to sell me something. But a few people will explain to you how we're gonna get this done. And JJ is that kind of person.
Yep.
JJ, well, what do you think got you into the heart of the matter behind sales? What got you into the hey, let's break this thing down, let's engineer this thing, and let me explain to you why you should go with me and why you should buy my product that my salesperson is trying to sell?
I don't know if I actually thought about it that deeply.
Yeah, I go deep, man.
I see it. Well, I mean, and I see a product that fit because I was my last company. I was a customer before I became a salesperson
Uh-huh.
of that software. So I saw the value of it from a customer's perspective. So I was able to easily come in and say, "Hey, this is the next best thing since sliced bread, and here's why." And so it was an easy sell for me. But that's how I made the switch. But I realized in that process that I'm really good at it. And
Oh.
so
Yeah,
and
you are good at that, JJ. Yeah.
and it's funny because you guys talked about the whole process of when you answer the question in the interview, give enough information but not more. I had an interview, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I finished all of the interview questions, and he's like, we're done. I'm done on my side. And he was surprised because we were done, a good 20 minutes earlier than he expected,
Ah,
because I was, concise. I gave him the answers. I gave him to satisfaction. We actually went to the next step, obviously after that, but he was surprised, and we had a good conversation after that. So it was interesting, but he was surprised that I didn't just go and go and go. And I think that's a lot of people, like you said, Dana, they just kind of keep going. They keep talking. They
Yeah,
talk themselves out of
exactly.
the sale, right? In that thing.
Mhm.
Job seekers, remember that when you are in an interview, you're there to talk about a something, and yeah, we're going to talk about ourselves. We're going to talk about what makes us tick, but just like we're doing right here with JJ, but we're there to talk about this need that that company has. So
Mhm.
you guys,
Mhm.
yeah, be funny, be jovial, that kind of thing, but keep it on task. Dana
Mhm.
said earlier, please, please keep it on task. Don't go out into the fluff and talking about all of this stuff that's outside of what we're there to talk about. We're there to
Mhm.
talk about
Yeah,
something. Let's keep it to what we're there to talk about.
Yeah.
love it.
I think one of the things is interesting with, especially with sales and interviewing in sales, to your point, is when you talk about the money, stop, right?
Uh-huh.
This is how much I want, stop, right? You don't negotiate until they negotiate, right? That's the
Mhm.
challenge when this is the price, right? MSRP, right? This is the
Mhm.
price that we charge.
Yeah,
If you want to discount it, that's fine, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're going to talk about the value first.
that's right.
We're
Yeah.
going to talk about the value, what I can bring to you, what you can bring to me, and then once we produce that value, then let's talk about price.
Right. I'm a hiring manager. I'm a recruiter. I think it is totally fair. A lot of times, a company, or you will see a company that puts down a range of salary according to what is involved. You will climb up that ladder of that range according to the amount of work that they're asking you to do, some of the things that they're asking you to do. If there's management involved, some of those things are going to make you feel comfortable to climb up that range that they're giving you,
Mhm.
and that's honest, and I agree with JJ. This is Foster. This is where I need to be, not need to be. I'm going to be here. I'm not gonna. I don't intend on now. I'm hard nosed, and I've been hard nosed about that for a long time. My dad taught me that he was a pastor, but this is where I need to be. But this is where I'm gonna be, y'all.
Mhm.
Now, if we're talking
Yes.
anything below where we are right now, I'm probably not gonna be your guy to talk about that. Now, some people can flex there. Foster's not
Okay.
much of a flexer.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit of a flexer, but I'm not.
Oh, come on, you're a
I'm
flexer.
I'm not that
Woohoo!
big of a flexer. I really am not. But guys, companies, consider who you're talking to when you're
Mhm.
talking
Yeah.
to JJ. What is JJ's fit for what you're looking for, and
Mhm.
what are you looking to provide for JJ to come into your company and provide this fit for you
It's a good
to help
question.
you go where you need to go? Come on now.
Mhm.
So that's what we're here. That's why I brought JJ. Man,
JJ's amazing. Seriously. You're going to land in 2.5. You won't be on the market long.
next week
I
JJ may
liked
not be here.
having, no, but you know what I think would be fun is we've done this with Mez, and Mez has the most amazing ideas.
Yes.
But I think because JJ's been given a gift on how to relate well and interview well, I think it would be fun for our job seekers to do a mock interview with JJ for like the type of role he'd be looking for, because his way of responding to questions is exactly
Yeah.
kind of what I was recommending. And when you model something for job seekers and you show kind of an example, it just helps frame things in their minds. I don't know if JJ would be open to it. I'm totally putting him on the spot. I haven't even run this by Foster,
JJ,
but I think that could be awesome.
have you
you know?
have you ever utilized our pit crew? Now, part of our network, guys, Mayor's just said, see there? Mayor's just said the pit crew. Pit crew
I've
stands for
listened.
practice interview team. You know what? The pit crew could probably learn something from interviewing JJ. And usually
Yeah.
JJ'd be there to, can I pick up something from the pit crew? Yes. But
But I think,
yeah, Dana, I agree with you. I think the pit crew could pick up something from JJ.
but yeah, I just think it'd be great for our listeners to kind of hear a couple sample questions and, you know, uh, how to articulate a really good
how to
answer without going
articulate,
over
how
the
to
top.
dig into what
Mhm.
it is that we're trying
Yeah.
to do. This is
Yeah.
what we need to do. What do you think about this? Well, maybe we want to go in this direction. These are the kind of things I think is going to come out of JJ, and I hadn't even been sitting in there with him.
Yeah. JJ, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the
Yeah.
show,
I
and
appreciate
very
the time.
qualified, but humble. And I love that, and as a person, I can tell any organization would be lucky to have the quality and caliber of person you are.
Definitely.
It does make a difference, the people you bring onto your team, and obviously bringing people like JJ with good integrity that care about people and obviously have an ability to communicate. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
So,
And knowledge of where we're going. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
thank you both for having me.
Well,
oh my
absolutely.
gosh, it's been
And
great.
companies, remember, we're
Absolutely.
talking to James Jordan. Now, you will find him on LinkedIn as JJ Jordan. I hear our music. We're going to see you guys next Friday. We had a good show today, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mez. Thanks, Tiffany. Bye.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Why have